You can see the factory from Rubbertown residents' front lawns. This road is completely blocked as well. There are police cruisers all the way down. And I've got another one for you. You can use your car mat, stick it underneath the tire. That follows the line of the tires, which directly leads into the swing set. There was a young girl there who was hit. 7-year-old DeQuante Hobbs' home. He was shot inside that house at the kitchen table having a snack. The slick roads also created a nightmare for Kentucky drivers this morning, including a deadly crash in Nelson County. Just stepped out of the storm tracker and I'm here on the scene. When we got here, we actually saw smoke coming from that top window because we're the home of the Kentucky Derby. One of the busiest travel days of the year is nothing to the Louisville airport. Today's classes resumed at Marshall County High School just 3 days after the shooting that left 2 students dead. Brought back the lantern so we could get a closer look at some of the damage. In the fall, it's going to look like this, a state-of-the-art sports complex. I'm not a piano player, but jazz icon Jamie Apersol says that's part of the point. You know where you can get the best view of the air show? On top of the live truck. He saw his truck being chased by police down the Waterson, come off this exit, hit an SUV, and you can see the tire tracks. Just on the other side of these officers is a window with a bullet hole right through the front.
Arrest.
No, I didn't.
You're under arrest.
I didn't do anything.
You're under arrest. Give a warrant for your arrest.
This was Patricia Karstner 19 months ago. Radcliffe police placing her under arrest.
I think it just broke her arm.
You broke it!
Just broke her arm.
This is Patricia Karstner now. An irreparable left arm broken in 3 places.
I tried to ask him why. You know, why was I under arrest? And it just took 19 seconds and it was broken.
Radcliffe police responded to Karstner's home with this custodial interference warrant. She didn't return her daughters to their father.
My youngest daughter blames herself for what happened. And she, you know, she struggles a lot because she was the one that watched it. It was right there.
Before the arrest, officers tried to enter Karstner's home. She told them no. According to her attorney, they never provided a warrant for that. He's calling this a classic violation of civil rights.
Did that really just happen? I had to watch it 2 or 3 times to grasp that what I saw was all there was.
Now the police department has this federal lawsuit on their hands. They're not commenting on the pending litigation.
It was clearly bad training on the part of the Radcliffe Police Department and those officers.
Karstner says the injury has put her out of work, causing her to lose just about everything.
They made a mistake, a very bad mistake, which has cost her the functionality of her left arm for the rest of her life.
Hello. Stop it.
Reddy Weldon is helping his best friend, Jackson Rosebush, pass the time. As they wait for Jackson's haircut, the preschoolers are a ball of energy.
Reddy's cute.
Today, Jackson has a particular cut in mind. How are you getting your hair done today?
Like Reddy?
And the transformation begins. It's all part of the boys' master plan to trick their teacher.
Jackson's me and I'm Jackson. And Jackson's me.
They hope the teacher won't be able to tell them apart because they'll have the same haircut. Jackson filled his mother in on the prank.
He was like, yeah, so we can trick the teacher because we'll look just alike. No, she won't be able to tell the difference between 2 of us. I was like, okay. Again, I know what Reddy looks like, so that made me chuckle.
The boys completely ignoring the obvious, their race. Jackson's mother posted her son's plan on Facebook to a few hundred friends, and it took off, shared thousands of times around the world.
I'm glad that people can see, you know, what little kids see.
I think you look like that guy.
Can I? Hello.
The boys are getting a kick out of the whole thing, but it's a much deeper meaning for their families. Reddy was adopted from the Congo, and although he may look different from his parents, they've taught him to love everyone the same.
It's really cool to see that move on from our family right into his relationships with his friends. And there's an innocence that children have that sometimes we lose. And so if we could get some of that back, I think it would be amazing.
I've always been an artist. I've always drawn since I was a little kid.
Louisville airbrush artist Tremont Spencer is working on what he calls a standard RIP shirt.
It just has dates on the front and then a small saying on the back. That really has become really the 80% of what, 75 to 80% of what we do. When people pick up their shirts and some people they tear up and they're happy and they're joyful, you can kind of feel like that, I don't know, maybe you gave them some sort of comfort.
But that isn't why Spencer made this. It's an airbrush portrait of Robert Godwin, the Cleveland man gunned down Easter Sunday on Facebook Live.
On my news feed, I kept seeing pictures of the offender. I don't like to say his name. And it was just so, I don't know, it was just, you know, one after another after another.
So Spencer got to what he does best and painted this portrait in just about 2 hours.
I don't know what it is, that expression on his face in this picture. I mean, you see a lot of things. You see how kind he is. You see that he's not an evil person.
Spencer shared the portrait online, thousands of comments and hundreds of shares, finally catching the eye of Godwin's daughter in Cleveland. She put up this post trying to find the artist.
When I first saw that painting, the first thing that came to my mind is that how it really captured my dad's spirit. You know, it just really, you know, rang so true of the humble and gentle man that he was.
Within 24 hours, through the power of social media, Spencer and Godwin's daughter connected.
You know, I said we would pay for it just, you know, to have it.
Spencer refused the money, but Godwin's daughter did give him the one thing he wanted.
And she texted me our address, so tomorrow morning it goes in the mail.
That was Mykesha Normand Sunday night. Her 7-year-old son, DeQuante Hobbs, had just been shot. He later died at the hospital. Tuesday, Normand's face numb, but the grief still present as she looked on at the hundreds who showed up to honor her child.
This is an undescribable pain. You can't describe it.
Police say a fight started during a dice game behind Hobbs' home Sunday. Shots were fired and a stray bullet went through this window. Hobbs was sitting at the kitchen table
And eating leftover cake.
His little sister still struggling to understand what happened.
I had to tell my grandbaby one of the hardest things I had to tell her. I said Q had to go to heaven.
And police wish they knew why. 2 days and still no suspects. Officers spent the afternoon going door to door in a neighborhood known for remaining tight-lipped when it comes to cops.
If I've talked to everyone, there's not going to be any opportunity for someone to point back at who might have provided us with that critical information.
The mayor hopes that plan works.
I mean, if you're human at all, it breaks your heart. And you just keep saying, why does this need to happen?
Hobbs' family hopes through prayer they'll find that answer.
We're going to follow him to the heavens. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Let it go. Come on, DQ.